All right, how I sound now? Can you hear me? How everything sound? Can you hear me? Testing. Alrighty. I'm gonna mute now, let the room build up if it's gonna build up. And we're gonna get to it. Simple as that. Simple as that. What's the word, y'all? Appreciate y'all for coming in. Look like we got people in the building. You know, they always in the bushes. But hope y'all having a good morning. Let me move this down. Just want to exit. There we go. Gotta go through this every time. Alright, look like we rocking and rolling, y'all. Hope y'all having a good morning. Definitely, if y'all come in, hit that like, comment, subscribe, and share button. You know how we get to it. Every time you ready to go live, you already know how it be. Heart beating fast, making sure you're doing the right thing, making sure everything lined up. But title of the day is "The Jam Was Never Just Mechanical." And that jam don't necessarily have to be what you may think a typical jam is. A jam can be your support structure. It can be the system. It can be your routine. It can be your comfort zone. It could be your job hustle. It could be an old mindset. So just think about it. The jam was never just mechanical. It was never physical. Just the jam. The jam again could be the system that we in every day. It can be the support structure you have. It can be comfort zone. It can be an old mindset. It can be a job hustle. It could be a person, place, or thing. It can be misaligned priorities. It can be unspoken emotions and dreams, unfinished stories, unprocessed visions. So y'all can substitute what the jam is. But what we gonna do is, what stood in front of you, that person, place, or thing, or whatever that jam is, in your day-to-day, your routine, that had you cussing and fussing, that had you mad, that had you upset. What was that thing? Because we all have them. We all have them. And every time you face that jam, you come up with a feeling, an emotion. It pisses you off. I know it pissed me off. But how do we handle the jam? For those that's in the room, what is your jam? Let's see if you keep it 100 today. What is your jam? What is it that have you at times when that thing arises frustrated and, ready to go in on a person, stop visiting that place, or give up that thing? Put it in the chat. Let me see. And shout out to my wife, of course, Pretty Heart the Conqueror, Mike, for stopping in. But what is it though? Let me see. Put the jam in the chat. I tell you, my jam is having things perfectly lined up. Whether it's planning your day, things that you plan out, just to get from A to B. What is it? What is that jam? What's the jam? We don't want to chat today, huh? Mike, I don't know what you're talking about, but if it's struggling in the morning, oh, you say dragging that ass, boy. Um, I don't know if you're referring to me or that is your drag or your jam, but we always got to get to it, man. No matter what it is, that jam can slow us down. It could throw us off. Definitely. Coming on live every day you have things and hiccups that can jam you up. Pretty Hard said getting stuff in order. Brittany says life. What do we do when we face that though? I know I do. I get the cussing, I shut down, don't want to talk. I'm mean to everyone around me. People can feel that. We know that energy don't lie. Getting stuff in order, I feel you on that one, because when we can't, that makes it even worse. When we gotta fight, and it's like soon as we get one thing lined up, another hurdle, something else that's falling apart. Life jam, major decision, having to adjust. But how many know it was never mechanical? It's never mechanical. And to the ones that's in the bush, and you jammed up right now because you can't even come in and show some love, but you scrolling. Good morning to you too. But it's never mechanical. Again, it could be your support structure with the wrong people, the wrong thing you're watching or listening to. The job hustle for everybody that have aspirations to be a person that want to take entrepreneurship seriously. That job could be getting in the way. That's a jam. Burning you out day in and day out. The system, the food, the corners of our neighborhoods is liquor stores and fast food. The things we're watching, the programming, that's all a jam. It's all a jam. I don't care how you look at it. An old mindset. When you over something, and you trying to fight through it, that mindset comes back up. That's a jam. It means you're not moving forward. You got to get rid of that. That's hard to do, to change your mindset. After 35 plus years and even higher, we have adults still trying to change their mindset because of the system. The system that they were in was given a jam. One of the biggest hurdles right now is the comfort zone. Stepping outside the box. That's a huge jam. For the people that's in here, thank y'all always repping day one, but what comfort zone are you scared to step out of? What routine are you afraid to change? My routine is, I have the same routine every morning. And I feel like if I sleep a little late, if I don't do this particular thing the way that I do it, I get frustrated. My comfort zone is speaking to everyone. Y'all know that. That's why I had the mic. It's still around. Speaking up. Comfort zone. I know most people may try to hide and say that this is not one, but it's telling the truth. We do it. We hide the truth because it's so easy. It's comfortable. Every day. Shout out to the 5 people that's in the room. But what's the jam? What's your jam? Y'all on here, we gonna need some participation. But anyhow, the show gonna go on regardless. But old mindsets, you know, the way you were raised, the things that you're figuring out that maybe is not working for you. Maybe you figured out some things and you may have to go against the grain with family, with the job, with your friends, your loved ones. Brittany says trading the known weight of unprofessional safety for the unknown likeness of full created or creative freedom. Trading the known weight of professional safety for the unknown likeness of full creative freedom. Stuck in the system because we don't believe enough in ourselves to be able to move around, vacation when you want to. You put in your own hours, your own sweat and equity. We don't believe that enough. And that right there tells me the system, the routine, the comfort zone, the old mindset, your support structure, and the job hustle are all part of the jam. All a part of the jam. Man, listen. These last 2 days, or last week, I was jammed up because I was putting my energy into a machine that wasn't ready. But I had to look. We all know that the physical, whatever it is a correlation to the spiritual. It's correlation to the spiritual. The physical is a correlation to the spiritual. It's always trying to teach you something. But you got to remember, you done been through worse times than that. Forever learning, forever remembering. That's what it is. But shout out to the people in the bushes, y'all. I know sometimes I be in the bushes. You scrolling just to see. See what's going on, starting your day. But that's a jam though, because you can scroll and see the wrong thing and you say, oh, I'm going to jump in here or pay attention from afar, and you jammed up still. That energy is pouring into you. But I definitely thank y'all for stopping by. We're going to do this more often. I got some more titles, some more topics. And that's just going to be the way we move. But, the second part to this is there's truth behind all of the jams. There's truth behind all of the jams. And for those jams that we got in the chat, whether it's life, getting stuff in order, a part of the structure, the system, the comfort. But check this out. We done made it an altar. A place of believing, a place of that thing. We didn't talk about the cheating. We didn't talk about the getting high, living outside of the way you're supposed to live. Gossiping, jealousy, envy, all of that. That becomes your altar. That becomes that thing. And when you in that jam, you get reminded. How you say stick. You get reminded. You want me to tell you how you get reminded? Because when you in that jam, you hear that voice that says, man, I'm tired of doing this shit right here. Man, I'm tired of going to this job. I'm tired. I don't know why I deal with her or him. They keep doing the same thing. Trusting the system, only leading you to keep striving and hoping and trying to survive. Comfort zone, wanting something different but doing the same thing. You want something different but doing the same thing. So you get frustrated. You at work frustrated. You in that relationship frustrated. You in that high moment frustrated because it's not serving you. It's not giving you what you thought it was or was supposed to give. You go to war with that thing. But you want to know the truth behind that? Behind that, it wasn't you necessarily feeling like things should be better, or it wasn't just this is what I get, this is what I deserve. That voice that you hear, that was you reflecting. You were reflecting that. It's not the other person. It's not that place or thing. That voice you hear is letting you know what have you jammed up. It's letting you know what has you jammed up. I can't count on one hand or 10 hands how many times I done heard that voice that I need to move around. That it's time for a change. It's time to get out that relationship. It's time to look for another job. The people that I thought was supporting me, it's time to change. It's time to move some people around. Brittany says you will keep playing the survival rules or you will step into your abundance rules. The rules of abundance. You'll keep playing by survival rules. You'll keep playing by that relationship. Oh, I want him or her to come by and we're going to do this and I know I got to get that to do this. But at the end of the day, we know it's not serving you. You're doing it just because you know where the comfort is. That mindset. Never stepping outside the box, moving forward, believing in yourself. That was the jam. That echo, that reminder you hear is only the reflection. That's it. That's all it is, the reflection. But when we gonna put some movement on it? When we gonna move forward? We only got a short amount of time in this world and we got to move, y'all. We got to move. A lot of people don't want to hear this because it hurts. Because we dealing with the jam, the things in life every day. But that echo was letting us know we got changes to make, y'all. And being in the wrong situation, you know what it caused? It caused you to have misaligned priorities. Your priorities was slipping. You know how when we look at somebody and say, oh, their priorities ain't in line. Or they done talk so much and expose so much of themselves. Their priorities is messed up. Because they putting this relationship over that. They putting that man, woman over their kids. Vacationing, not paying their bills. Everything that's echoing to you is letting you know. But we keep going back to it like it's our altar. Like that's where we, get our validation from. But the jam was never mechanical. It's all spiritual. But the more we ignore it, the longer we stay jammed. You know what else it causes? It causes unspoken emotions. You got to dumb it down to fit in. You don't want to have that argument to keep the peace. What's going on, Coach? Lala in the building. We were just talking about the jam. The jam was never mechanical. The jam could be the system. It could be the routine. It can be comfort zone. It can be a mindset. It could be the job hustle, relationship, a choice of drug, gossip, all of it. Lala, I think it's that Chad is doing that because it's the same emoji. But it's the jam, y'all. It's the jam. I was jammed up, and I stay fighting the jam. That jam became my altar, my dependency. It's the thing that reminds us every day that we need to move around. But another thing that the jam causes, it causes unfinished stories. The story you is supposed to write, the priorities that was misaligned. That support structure, oh man, that's heavy. Because you got certain people that just want to keep you down. That'll remind you of the BS you've been through just to keep you at a certain level, which keeping you in your comfort zone, which keeping you in your old mindset. How are we moving? Lala said, don't let it be a crutch. The crutch. But, it's easy, Lala, to say that because, and I ain't going to say easy, but that's the typical thing to say. And I know you got to go through it in order to understand the crutch. Oh, I'm going to just deal with such and such because they paying the bills, or they doing this, or this job cuts me a check, or this routine is safe. But you got dreams. The fears we don't face are failures. That's heavy, Lala. Don't nobody want to look in the mirror and see how many times they fail, so it's going to push us back in the comfort zone. Doing things that we know that is okay, that is passable. Going to that same job knowing that you deserve more. Like Brittany said, you're playing it safe in that system because as an entrepreneur, you don't think you have what it takes. So what's echoing in your head every day when you face those jams? We gotta do it different, y'all. The program is programming. Y'all know they say when a person dies, given when social media and the AI and all this started, they would have wasted 20 years of just scrolling. Doom scrolling is what they call it. So you got time. It's a war room. You right. Step off the hamster wheel. You may leave a little bruise, like she said. But that's the system. See, this is what I hate. It's easy to talk that correct motivation and all of that, but when you see people out here, they're not keeping it real. You know they not. They doing just enough to get by. If you're not fighting with yourself every day to try to be a better version of you for the next day, you already lost. You already lost. And what is that thing that you putting so much energy in feeding you? What is it feeding you? I know all the jams that I had wasn't feeding me nothing good. It was feeding me frustration, anger, resentment, going to war with myself. Like she said, Lala, it's a war room. But the truth is, that's the thing that we place at the altar. That's the thing that we deal with on the day to day. You know, some of y'all know the story. Lala said, "Yikes!" Oh, hand orange covering eyes. I had to delete YouTube off my phone. I know I had an addiction, and I'm on my PC now. Face, fuchsia, wide eyes. Yeah, we have to. Remember that video I made where we have to delete that history? That was no shout out to YouTube. That was no, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to make them look bad, but we have to pull away from the things that's not serving us. I come on YouTube to share with y'all, and I come on to get what I need to know, and I get off of it. I don't watch TV. I try to disconnect from all this old ratchet music too. I don't listen to the radio. And Lala, that's what Conquer said. Priorities, getting things in order. She said, Lala said, I didn't have sense to stop clicking the button, so I got rid of the the out of sight, out of mind. That's right. The input and the output. You can't do both at the same time. And that's just real. That's real, y'all. That jam, what visions is it stopping? Whether, you got that friend and you telling an idea to, and they say, oh yeah, downplay it just because y'all having conversation. Unprocessed visions. Maybe you need to pull away from that friend, that relationship, that bottle, that weed. Whatever it is, you need to pull away. If it's stopping your vision, if it's stopping it to become a reality, is that a part 2 where it's your old mindset? Your comfort zone? The jam, it was never just mechanical, it's spiritual. We don't need people to tell us we're wrong. We already tell ourselves. We already tell ourselves. So, before Lala came in the building, I wanted to share with y'all, give an example. My jam was the printer. Y'all know I make shirts, and it was in my way because I felt like that's what I had. That's what I had to come on YouTube. That's just another lane where I can make content, where I can monetize myself. I told y'all the story. Not gonna keep mentioning people's name, but y'all can check the last live out for that. And it was unspoken emotions that I had to deal with. I didn't know at the time. See, when we think we got it together, that's when we fall off. That's when we lose it. No one can say they got it figured out, because that's a mindset. And we know things, you'll never have it all together. You'll never have it perfect. But anywho, my printer went down, right? And I got mad, I could have brought out the tablet. I could have went back drawing. I could have done the numerous things on my platform. But this is where I was focused. I had been pouring into this thing, learning, just the surface level. Giving away things that didn't support me. But I knew with the same old routine, the same old job hustle, things was going to get hectic at some point, and it did. printer went down. What am I going to do now? I had to change my mindset. Hey, you done been here before. When things get tight, you figure it out. I had to pull away from social media. I had to pull away from everything. Some of that was family. So I can figure it out. It was a jam. But where the jam becomes spiritual, it wasn't just mechanical, it was spiritual. Because I was misaligned. Unfinished stories that I was thinking about. Dreams put on hold because I didn't know what was going on. But it wasn't until I got quiet with self and I said, hey, let's figure this out. I did some cleaning on it. You know, we clean up our lives and try to make it look good, and you know, but we know we still got a problem. Put on the good garments, the good clothes. Try to go out here in this world and whatever it is, you shake that high off. You got a day off out the system. So now we turned up having fun. But it wasn't enough. I'm going to keep going. And that's what I did. But I was pushing that line, the printer, the shirts. Like that was the center. Like, yeah, this is what I could do. I put more like worship time and energy into that thing than to what was around me. And it failed. I was misaligned. I wasn't thinking outside the box. That's where I was focused. But nevertheless, once I cleaned it and got all the dirt out, all the ink off, all of the bad this and that, it was clean, but it was still broken. That pushed me further into the jam. It bled off into work. It bled off into routine. It bled off into job hustle, the side hustle. What was I gonna do? But I had to be real with myself. This one thing is not gonna change me or the world. You got money invested in things you got to walk away from, relationship, time, all of that. That's money over there. Big money invested in that machine. But I had to pull away. I had to come back and regroup. Brittany said meditate and still, or sit still. Meditate and sit still. Yeah, we got to pull back out the jam. Not to fix, but to listen, ask, figure out. What was the jam trying to show me? What was that bad relationship trying to show you? What was that boring routine trying to show you? What is the system showing you? What is your comfort zone? What is your old mindset? All of those things. Shout out to Tina in the building. The jam was never just mechanical. Your relationship was just never mechanical. The regret, it's not just mechanical. Your comfort zone, all of whatever you want to put in the word jam was just not mechanical. It's spiritual. What was the jam trying to show you? Messengers. Jams are always the messenger, the echo. I'm done messing with him, girl. I'm done messing with her. I'm tired of going to the club. I ain't got no money to pay these bills. You know, when you gossiping about someone, don't you get that small little thing in your head be like, am I gossiping? Some of us so stuck in the mindset, the jam, that we don't even realize that. That's facts, y'all. So I had to listen to the messenger. I had to pull away. The spiritual, it was talking. It threw off everything. Had to come and buy a new print head. That print head was $300. That bad relationship cost you a whole apartment, a lease. You getting high cost you a job. You gossiping getting you exposed. That old mindset showing you you're not growing. The old mindset would have been like, throw it away. We gonna keep doing what we doing. I'm gonna sit and figure this thing out. That's what it is. So of course, I had to order it. I told y'all the job hustle. I was in my feelings because people was moving around me with merch and moving forward. But what am I doing it for? I was giving away more than I was receiving because folks today don't want to support. So I thought I had to give more. No, my value is worth it. I guarantee every shirt I printed is still solid. Still solid. Wash it 1,000,000 times, it'll never change. They don't know that. So guess what? When I fixed it, it went bad again. Don't get too cocky, y'all, because that one thing you think you figured out may become the jam. Brittany said, a jam is not the enemy. It is a checkpoint. It slows you down long enough to ask what needs to be realized or released. My ego, me being cocky, trusting the process, all of that. So when it went down again, y'all, guess what? I had to miss out on my son's pep rally game because I know what I have in me and I have to get back to the basics. So this time around, whatever you pushing, whether you get that new place and you don't allow him or her to move in, whenever you around your homies and they drinking and you know what it is, that raggedy support structure you got, the system, learning how to tap in it and tap out of it. When you see that old mindset, you gotta stand on it. You gotta put that time in, because when you bounce back, all that stuff ain't coming up no more. You already know what your fire forged. You already know what you're worth. I ain't hanging around people that's just there to clap in public, but then give me bullshit when we behind the scenes. Don't check in on you. They want to be there when you winning. That's another jam. So again, I had to sit still. I was determined. And this time it was just an adjustment. Before you know it, I'll be able to put it together and take it down. But we look at the jam as a bad thing. Oh, I don't have this, or I keep doing this. No, you're going through it for a reason. Listen to the echo. Listen to that thing that you keep going through. Fix it. When I had made the slight clockwise adjustment, printed like brand new. I'm not out here ego tripping and oh I'm feeling. It's not about me. It was a spiritual thing. At the end of the day, that one thing you giving all your attention to, you're bigger than that. You're better than that. Don't let that thing be the one thing that controls you, because you will get jammed up. Tina says the biggest obstacle in most situations is not the problem itself, but the pride and ego attached to that keeps you from acknowledging error. If that ain't powerful, I don't know what is. But we don't want to acknowledge our errors, our faults. Why? I don't know. I just think people just really scared of what they're going to find when they look in the mirror. They too embarrassed to say, yeah, girl, I fell for it again. Yeah, he spent the night at my house. Oh, man, I messed around and didn't protect myself. And now man, I thought you hate that job. But then, because my family, we don't put enough belief in ourselves. But we can go and believe things that what other people told us to believe. You have everything inside you that you need. Pretty Heart said, be more patient. Yes. Trust the process. Because what don't kill you is only going to make you a strong person, thing, place, whatever it is that you just like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. Yes, you can. You've done it this far. But the jam, y'all, it's not mechanical. It's a spiritual thing. So whatever you facing right now, it's a reflection that you didn't listen to the echo. I don't want to keep going through the same old. I got to do something different. You being attached to the wrong people to get you jammed up quick. But check your priorities. What you putting in front of family or your kids, their relationship, you yourself. What's some things that's going unspoken of? Conversations that need to be had. Apologies need to be given. What dreams did you put on hold that you feel like it's too late to go back and chase? Lala said, true that we gifted the ability to discern red flags. Man, that echo get louder and louder. We must use discipline to change direction when called for. I gotta read that again. Listen to what she said. True that we gifted the ability to discern red flags. We're gifted the ability to discern red flags. Oh, he only hit you one time. It's okay. Man, you almost lost your life when you went out. It's okay. Just go to a different spot. We get red flags every day. But we must use the discipline to change the direction when called for. It's like, hey, stop doing that. Nah. We keep doing it. We keep doing it. Routine. Same mindset. But what is it, that thing that you keep doing is causing? We already talked about it. But when you move in the right direction, it will work itself out. And now the printer's back up and running. One little adjustment. Knew it needed some cleaning, it needed some downtime, it needed some reflecting. I had to reflect. Why am I doing this? Marcus, you want to help, you want to be this, you want to be that, but you giving it to the people that does not appreciate it nor support you. Where was they at when I went down? But we back moving. Take that paper out the printer. Take that, whatever that jam is, out. Fix it. Listen to what it's trying to tell you. Self comes first. At the end of the day, y'all. But I definitely, this was a smooth live. I really wasn't too turned up like I normally get, but I thank y'all for stopping by. Definitely, Lala, it's just something that's been, you've come up a lot. Your energy, the growth that you have, or you're obtaining. Every time you're on camera, you're giving. Don't lose that. Do not lose that. I want to do some work with you. We can do a juice fast. That was one of my jams lately. When you're stressed out, you get to eating any and everything. That's a jam. It was a good input, but the output gonna be bad. But I wanted to give you your flowers on the stage. Pretty, keep doing your thing. Keep doing it. You're a conqueror. That's a big task, a big journey. We all got something that we good at. Tina came on the spot. She moving and grooving. That's it, y'all. That's it. Give the flowers when they do. But all of this pointing the finger, gossiping, and this, clique that we kind of around, that shit is foul. But when you stand solid and you stand in truth, you know who supports you. You know what systems you need to stay away from. Do not clap for me in public and then move differently when we off the scene. Brittany said the jam presses you until only the real love remains. That's heavy. The jam presses you until the only thing real. The jam presses you until only the real love remains. Your day ones. The job that'll tell you, oh, you'll always have a spot. That's just the backup. And we've all been there, Pretty. We've all been there, and we're still there. But what we do with it, we deal with one brick at a time. Priorities. What's the first brick? Then the second brick. Then the third brick. Then guess what? Before you know it, you done built a wall. That's what it is. but we focused on other things while we're building brick by brick a jam, a system. You know, we got the jealousy, we got the envy, we got all of that extra. When you detach and you get to work, your outcome gonna always be good. Leave that relationship, cancel that lease, you're gonna bounce back. Stop getting high, get fit, you're gonna bounce back. That's putting in work. But just make sure you got the right support system while you're working. But yeah, y'all, your boy is back up and running. You know, like we never left. Keep it real. Stay humble. Listen to the echoes. Listen to them. Tina says I can be mistaken on the premise, but I can be mistaken on the premise, but I believe that the jam causes you to do introspective inventory. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Inventory. No backup. What you missing? What you supposed to be doing to help take care of that thing? That's the jam. It's the echoes. When you start tuning it in, it make you look into self. Can I move forward? Can I keep doing this? Some of them things you just gonna have to let go. But how bad do you want it? We wait and procrastinate on perfection that will never come. Even the brick needs room to breathe. Yeah, it has to settle. Lala, you speaking, but that's facts. We gotta take inventory. What's siphoning my energy? What's distracting me? It's only so far we can go when we're pretending. That's it. But the jam is never mechanical. It wasn't just mechanical, it's spiritual. So whatever you facing in life, look at it from a spiritual standpoint. You got everything you already need on the inside. Believe in yourself and you'll be all right. But I definitely thank y'all to the chatters. We got, my wife Brittany. We got Pretty Heart the Conqueror. We had Mike in the building. Lala the Vibe Coach. Tina Mo Show. Check her out. She do a nice little, sit down. Pretty, she have lives and she gonna keep it all the way funky with you. Lala, she up there. She up there doing her thing. She always support, always give that love. Always. When you show up for the other person and they not showing up for you, but the minute that you get to popping, they all up in your mix. But what do we do when no one's watching? What do we do when no one's watching? Are we fixing the jam? Lala said, everything I need already have, and everything that I have is already what I need. Is all that I need. That's it. This is it, y'all. But Reed is still around. Y'all know, stick to it. I'm always say shout out to my boy the architect. But that's what it is. I thank y'all for tuning in. It's gonna be a part 2 and a part 3. We gotta keep going. Keep going, y'all. This is stick to it. Y'all know what we do over here. We gonna stick to it. And I'm gonna keep saying the same message. Stick to it. Figure it out. But most of all, hold the line. Stand in your truth. And energy, it never lie. We signing out, y'all.